What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about probably one of the most important things that you can do as a gardener before seed starting season if you have seeds that are either old or seeds you've saved yourself. We're doing germination testing. Let's go. The reason why you want to do germination testing on seeds that you've saved yourself or old seed is because when saving seeds yourself, mistakes can be made. I have over fermented my tomato seeds in the past, and that really hurts germination. I've also thrown slightly damp pumpkin seeds or squash seeds into a bag too early, and because they weren't fully dry, they molded on the inside even though the outside looked great. And those mistakes can cost you dearly and cost you very precious time when seed starting, as well as wasting time and materials when you're seed starting, which is, none of those are good. But then also another reason why you want to do your germination testing on old seed is because over time, old seed loses germination. When you first start out with fresh seed, you might be somewhere in the 85 to 95% range. 100% germination is a great thing, but it's not to be expected. It's very unrealistic. So usually 85, 95% germination is kind of what you get on that first year, freshly saved if everything goes according to plan. But over time, certain seeds will drop off faster than others. For instance, a tomato, if kept cool, dark, and dry, can last 3 to 5 years and be nearly unfazed. And nothing really changes with the germination rate. You might go from 85 to like 80% in that 3 to 5 year span, which is amazing. That's great. Whereas something like a carrot or let's say an onion, those drop off much faster. You'll go from 85% germination down to like 50% germination within a single growing season. And so it is so important that you test your old seed because depending on the age could really dictate the amount of germination that gets lost over time. So to do your own germination testing, it is really simple. You only need a few things. First thing is you're going to get a Ziploc baggie here. Any size will work. Some paper towel. That's going to hold on to moisture, the right amount of moisture to help your seeds germinate. And then you're really going to want a marker or Sharpie just so you can mark the name of what you're starting and the date that you start it, just so you have kind of an idea of the time it takes to germinate as well. That kind of helps you when you're seed starting to build an expectation, right? This stage right here is all about building expectations, or rather setting the expectation. If you have a seed that you know is going to have 75% germination, and under ideal circumstances, it took 5 to 7 days. You know that when you're starting your seeds for your garden, you know that you're going to get roughly 75% germination, and it's going to take 5 to 7 days to germinate. It sets that expectation in your mind so that you don't make mistakes and lose out on precious time. So with that, let's get started here, and we'll talk about a few more reasons why you'd want to do germination testing. So to do this, it's really simple. You're going to take your paper towel. I like to fold mine just so I have a little bit more moisture holding capabilities in here on the paper towel. Slide it into the Ziploc baggie. I personally like the sandwich size just because it holds the paper towel pretty well. Then I'm going to spray some water, and you want to soak the paper towel, but not to the point where it's dripping. You just want it to be really well saturated. But if you were to tip it upside down, you're not going to get extra water coming out. That's the ideal amount of moisture. Once you have your paper towel in the Ziploc baggie and damp, also, quick little tip, don't dampen the paper towel before you put it in the Ziploc baggie, otherwise it's nearly impossible to get it in there cleanly. I'm speaking from experience here. I've made that mistake a lot. Then you're gonna take your seeds and you're gonna throw them in. Now, it is so important you choose the right amount here. It's gonna make math really simple. Now you can do any amount. You could germination test this amount. I haven't even counted, but all you're going to do is you're going to do basic math. If you have this amount here, you're going to count however many that is. And then you're going to divide out the amount that sprout from the amount that's unsprouted, or the total, right? So if there's 15 here and you have 10 that sprout, you're going to do 10 divided by 15 to give you your percentage of germination. The ideal amount that I like to grab is 10 seeds. 10 seeds is a good amount because if you go less than 10, you have a really small sample size. 10 will give you, if you get 9 out of 10, that'll give you 90% germination, 80% germination. But you don't want to go less than 10 because when you're dealing with big seeds like this, the decimal point is already so inaccurate that you might get 70 or 80%. The difference of 70 or 80% is literally one seed germinating, which is a little bit impractical. So you could always go up to 100 seeds, which gives you that additional decimal point, which if 85 out of 100 seeds germinate, then you have 85% germination. You could go to 1,000 seeds and have 85.5. If 855 out of 1,000 germinate, you have 85.5% germination. You get that additional, the larger your sample size, the more decimals you can add, and that helps your accuracy. But to a certain point, it becomes a little bit ridiculous. I go with just 10 seeds. For me at home, it's pretty simple. You're gonna get a really good sample size out of 10 seeds. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're simply gonna take these seeds, we're gonna throw them in just like that. We're gonna keep them spaced out. You don't want them too crowded. If they're too crowded, they can kind of, if one happens to mold, it can really kind of ruin the bunch. Seal them up. We're gonna label them. We're gonna put them in a nice warm area. And then we're going to wait until we start to see sprouts. And this is gonna tell you one additional thing when seed starting, which is so important. Alrighty, I just wrote the name and the date on this bag, so we are good to go. The most important reason why you want to do this is because this tells you how many seeds extra you should be starting in your trays. This is so important because if you don't do that, and you, let's say, put 1 or 2 seeds per cell, you could still absolutely could take these seeds with even 60% germination. And let's just say 50% germination to keep math simple. If your germination rate was 50% and you stuck 1 seed in each cell, that means that you have a 50-50 shot. It's a coin flip whether or not something in that cell will germinate. But if you know that your germination rate is 50% and you'd like to use old seed with low germination, all you have to do is then add 2 seeds, at least 2 seeds, and then you have a better odds, or even 3 seeds, which gives you even better odds of getting germination. You see, when our germination rate is 95%, throwing more than 1 seed in a cell is wasteful because then we're gonna end up thinning. We're gonna be overcompensating. Whereas if we add 2 or 3 seeds with 50% germination, what we're essentially doing is guaranteeing that everything in our cell is going to germinate. And it's a common misconception that gardeners will throw out seed that has 50% germination because they think it's bad or it's inviable. No, the viability has decreased substantially, but you still can have success and you can still use old seed, which is not only gonna save you money, but allow you to grow some seeds that you otherwise may have just thrown out. And that is why this is probably the most important thing you can do as a gardener before seed starting. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. Take care, bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care. Bye.